So I just turned off the camera on my XL Edition Church Prize, and then I looked over there and I'm like, oh yeah, there was something else that I got in the exact same box. But considering how much time I'd spent on the XL Edition Eaglemoss, or the XL Edition Church Prize, I figured I'd make this a completely separate video. It's just recorded right afterwards, or whatever. So it turns out that I've gotten so many, or rather, I've gotten enough of these Eagle Moss magazines, such as they are, because I've got like 15 or 16 of them at this point. That they're just kind of sitting on the shelf, taking up a lot of space. And the problem with magazines, you turn them sideways and they start to warp and distort and all kinds of things like that. And I'm like, I need a way to store these things properly, and I don't just want to sit them flat. And there's actually quite a few of them here. There's like, what, a dozen here? Something like that. Anyways, yeah, I need to do something about this. So, turns out Eagle Moss actually has a solution for me. And so, in the exact same box as the XL Edition Church Prize, I also purchased a Eagle Moss magazine binder. Now, to be clear, this will only fit the regular, the full size version magazines. It will not carry any of the smaller Star Trek magazines. Okay, it's not going to carry the smaller ones like this, so just be aware. If they have a binder for the smaller ones, I'm not aware of it at this time. So I'm only going to be concentrating on the larger, standard sized magazines at this point. Um, there are instructions for how to do this, and by the way, it doesn't matter what the cover is. I mean, you can buy whichever one you want. It doesn't really matter. As I understand it, they all kind of look like this on the inside. Anyways, there are small white text instructions on the inside here, but I have no idea what the heck they're talking about. So I fumed about it for about half a minute, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to do an online search. And once you research it, yeah, okay, then yeah, now it makes sense. But the text instructions, I kind of wish that Eaglemoss had provided. I mean, they're so damn good. I'll give you an example of it because it's so stupid. They're so damn good at providing uh, assembly instructions for the how to attach your spaceship to a display stand when it's literally just a fork and you just slip it in there. That's how a display stand works. So they'll take the extra amount of time to describe that to you, which is actually hilarious on a couple of occasions, but they won't give an actual picture on how to do it with these. I don't know how long they've been making these. Actually, this one's dated 2014. So presumably this particular print, this particular picture is from 2014. So that makes us 7 years old at this point. Whatever. Um, So yeah, I needed to look online. I looked up a couple of videos, and okay, now I know what to look for. Now I know what to do. So unfortunately, the text instructions make no sense whatsoever. But once you've seen it or once you've done it, okay, yeah, it's really easy. So on the inside here, you're going to have some black, some really thin pieces of black plastic, and they're going to be attached to these things right here. As I understand it, you can choose to leave these flappity things on here or not. I think, I mean, it's supposed to bend like that, but you're supposed to be able to take them off. So what you want to do, and I haven't done it yet, so we're going to be doing this in real time. So what you're going to do is you're going to oh so carefully remove these black whatchamacallits in the middle, and they come in pairs that are touching in the middle. So you're going to want to take one pair off each side. I suspect that, well, actually, I don't know if like there's enough here to, I don't quite know how this works. And they're kind of T-shaped. They're kind of vaguely T-shaped. So you just twist them off, and then you're going to get real tiny thing like this. So that's what you want to get. You want to get one of these little T-shapes. They're really thin from this side, but they're really wide from this side. And you're going to want to pull it off. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to sandwich from either side. That's what you're going to be doing here. So you want to pull these off in pairs. So you're just going to take a moment to twist all of these off, making certain do not break. The You don't necessarily want to break the overall frame that they're attached to, but you can see here I've already removed, a single row right here. So you're going to want to remove all of these here. How you do that is up to you. It's really thin plastic anyways, so just I would recommend the twisting method. so that works. I believe that one binder contains, is it 12 or 16 magazines? Something like that. And again, it's the full size one, not the little ones. I don't think you need to have the plastic be clean when you pull these off. I don't think it needs to be clean. And keep in mind that these are very tiny and they're very fragile. Don't step on them. Just don't. Don't roll over them, certainly. It's probably why they provide multiples. And you do, I should point out that even though I bought it at the same time as the XL Edition Church Prize, it was not part of the XL Edition Prize. You buy the binders separately, so they're not included. So, although kind of the main reason, or one of the reasons why I got this at the same time, is because there was a sale going at the same time. So I got what was it, 20% off my purchase. So I should also point out that I think from the videos that I saw, there's like two or three different binder designs or whatever it is. So be really careful because the way that I do it might be different from other versions of the binders. So just be aware of that as well. Okay, so there's 18 pairs of thingies. So let's see, how do I want to? Okay, so I got all of the all the little plastic pieces have been removed. So it's just this frame here, and that's it. Okay. So now what you're going to do, the top and the bottom are identical to each other. So what you want to do, there's a pair of clips at the top and the bottom, and you want to, I can't see what I'm doing. You want to lift up, just get your fingernails under there, slide it under the corners and pop them out. So you want, I can't see what I'm doing. You want to lift up on this. Don't break it off. Do not break it off because it's still a single piece, but you do want to lift up this little slot on the top and you want to lift it up on the bottom as well. So you want to loosen them. Then, if you look under there, you're going to see that there's a bunch of holes. What you want to do is you want to take these little T-shaped pins you've just spent, 10 minutes or however long removing. You want to take these and you want to slot them in there. You want to do this carefully, obviously. You'll probably want to do them one at a time. And make certain that yeah, you're really going to see this. Make certain that the wider edge, or that the narrow edge of the pin goes in first, and the wider edge is on the outer side. It'll be obvious when you put them in there. Slot it in there like that. Make sure it gets past the door, and you do want them to go all the way through. Oh yeah, I'm glad I pulled all of them at the same time. Although maybe just because I don't have this many magazines, maybe I should have waited to pull these out. But on the other hand, I don't want to have to go on a fishing expedition every time I add a new magazine. So I think I'm confident in saying that this one binder alone will carry all the magazines I've gotten thus far. Okay, so now you can see I've installed half of the pins on which is actually the bottom of the magazine holder here, the binder. So half of them are here, and they've gone all the way through, and that they'll only fit in the one direction, obviously. Again, it'll be obvious when you get them in hand. And then put this down and snap that back into position, and that's the end of that. Now just do the exact same thing on the reverse side. However, this time you're going to put the pins in, but you don't want to snap that lid over the top of it. So you're going to want to put these in one at a time again, but you want to leave it loose. Gosh, it's taking a long time. If you have bigger fingers, this is not going to be fun. Well, it's not hard, it's just you have to be really, really careful just because they're so small. But they have to be able to fit inside of these magazines. So, whatever happened to the good old days of the 3-ring binders? I suppose that is an option still, but 3-ring binders have a tendency to tear up the magazines or whatever you choose to stick in there. So, considering these are Oh, I ended up with a couple of extras. Boo hiss. I ended up with, okay, so I'll be able to hold two more magazines, so I'm going to double check, see if maybe did I miss any? No, I did not miss any. Okay, so I'm going to end up with, they probably did that on purpose. They figured, like, you might actually break or step on someone or something. So that you're going to have a couple of left over. So you don't have to pull, at least in this particular case, you don't have to pull every single one of them out. So, okay, whatever. I mean, that's good. If you break some, you get some left over. Okay, so I already confirmed I've got all the pins down here, and I closed up the cover here as well. So these are secured. And again, on the top, I have all the pins are here, except I have not locked this down yet. This is still loose, okay? So what you're going to do, in whichever order you like, whatever your preference is, so you're going to take one of the magazines. Here it is, the special edition USS Calvin. This was my very first one. I got this in, was it December? Is either December 2019 or January 2020. I don't remember which. Yeah, I think it was January, something like that. Anyways, so you're going to take this and you're going to look for the centerfold. You're going to look for the middle where the staples are. In the middle of the magazines, you're going to look for where the staples are. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to push up on the pins on the upper half of the what you call, because you need to make room. So you're going to slot the magazine. You're effectively going to hold it like this between the pins using the center fold, the center of the magazine as the anchor point. So that's what you're going to be doing. So you're going to be putting these little plastic tabs into either side of the magazine. So it's just going to hang like this, okay? Now, what you do not want to do is secure both the top and the bottom and then try to get the magazine in. That's a bad idea. Considering how little space there is and how thick paper has a tendency to be, you can only fold it 6 or 7 times, blah, blah, blah. You will want to keep one side or the other of the binder available. I'm not certain if I'm going to be able to show this to you for the very first one, but I will try my best. There we go. Okay, so it's in the bottom, and it's really thin. It's not even. It's like just barely an inch of plastic is sticking over. And then for the top, you want to make certain that the pin is pushed out. You almost want to insert the pins instead of inserting the pins on the top before you go for the magazines. You might want to get the magazine into position and then slip the pin down. Maybe that might be the better option. I don't know. I'll just say it's up to you. The point is you don't want to snap that top one into place yet. So you can see here, and again, I have not clipped down the top yet. You see the top here is still loose, but you can see that the magazine is being held in place, and like there's an inch of plastic up here at the top, and then there's an inch of tab down here. And you're just going to do that for each and every one of these. Remember, don't close the top until you get all the magazines that you want in there in place. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera off and hope that I don't break any of the little plastic clips. Okay, so it's like 10 minutes later, something like that. I did struggle to get a number of the magazines in, so actually two of them, like getting them in the bottom was easy, but when you have to insert the pin from the top for whatever reason, I really struggled. So two of the magazines were damaged at the very top, right in the middle, which was like, right. So anyways, once you get them in place, let's see, I can't see what I'm doing. Once you get them all in place, the ones that you want to get into place, then you will want to push down the remainder of unused pins. So you want to make certain that all the pins are down, and then finally snap and snap. And there it is. It's done. So now your magazine binder is finished. So all you got to do is, why does it have that extra fold in there? I don't understand. So anyways, what you can do now is you can open up any magazine that you like from any location that you like, and then coincidentally, actually, all of them will go right to the middle. So there you go. So that's it. That's all the large scale magazines. And again, the smaller Star Trek magazines, they're not going to fit. So you're going to, I don't know what Eaglemoss has planned for these, so I'm not entirely certain. But yeah, and then you can just, and then if you add more magazines, just pull the top. Again, it unclips easy enough. It's supposed to be a tight, you got to pull it apart, but it is made of plastic, so do be gentle with it. But yeah, eventually you just want to pull that apart, or you want to unclip. You want to unclip that and then pull the pins out, and then you can stick more magazines in, and then make certain you reinsert all the pins, even if they're not used up entirely, and then close up that thing like that. So yeah, that's actually quite useful, very handy. And right now I've got what, 9 magazines in here? I didn't bother counting. Um, but yeah, and then I've got a bunch of little magazines floating around, so I'm gonna have to find something interesting with them. Okay, good deal. Um, I'll let you know how long this lasts because, quite frankly, I would have used metal pins that go all the way through rather than little plastic pins that like might break easily. Because like if you do this enough times, I'm guessing it'll break or whatever it is. But I guess they were trying to go for the cheaper end of things, so whatever. Also, it's slipping a little bit just because it was stored like this, and I don't know why it is. It's got this extra. Oh yes, I do. I'm dumb. Never mind. Okay. Okay. And so with that, this is AV Unit Fry saying thank you very much for tuning in.